So, first we're going to get an awareness roll from the Bone Collector.
Pretty good. It's hot here. I'm melting.
2 successes. You watch her dart off into the darkness and down one of the side streets. Following a cat, having almost lost it at the Prince's Club. And having been saved by the Bone Collector, and now 1 point blood bonded to the Bone Collector, we find ourselves moving through the evening. Okay, from the club.
Those are two
this is called helicopter
trailer.
This is helicopter parenting for those who don't know.
Oh no, I apologize. Protean Weight of the Feather,
where we're going
which
to
is
find
free,
both
and then I'm going to
Ottilie
do Unseen Passage,
and
and I'm going to
D
get to the
tonight with the
rooftops
Bone Collector watching.
Of these
you know, like the deviant he is.
Manufactured homes.
Yep.
These mobile homes.
Believe they have words for that, but we're not going to get into that
for the Unseen Passage, so give me 1 sec.
Make your rouse check, make your rolls, and shoot them to me off screen. Let me get things. And we'll come back to you in a sec. As you step, and you have into 2 fails. Ottilie,
I have 2 ones.
And Bone Collector. And one of them is a hunger die. The scent of damp earth and the distant hum of city life.
My roll got worse from the first
an eerie
one.
Symphony of urban wilderness. Rows of weathered trailers are scattered across the uneven ground, each with a unique story to tell. So, here's how this goes. The park is shrouded in twilight. Well, it would have been. You're tired of waiting. If you'd come here first, it's just dark. Done. The streetlights. Your beast is lighting the way. Done, and it's urging you. And again, the faint mist, a little more to the force than the scene, an eerie and rather ethereal quality. Behind you, attempting to open the trailers themselves range from faded pastel hues to clean metallic surfaces, a reflection of the lives that have passed through this transient community. The door swings open. As your gaze sweeps over the landscape, you notice the flickering glow. I'm going to come back to the Bone Collector for a second. Almost neon light coming from some of the windows. That's success. Excellent. You move to the top of the roof. Or 2 dotting the place. D, what are you doing? The signs cast an otherworldly aura, spelling out messages in vibrant hues that seem to hold a hidden meaning, known only to those who reside within the trailers that they're hanging off of.
She's just gonna.
Amidst the trailers, a few figures stand out, drawing your attention like moths to a
still
flame.
Keeping in mind that elderly gentleman.
A woman with flowing raven hair leans against a worn-out fence, her crimson lips curving into a sardonic smile.
When she saw that elderly
pools of obsidian,
she's like continuing to walk and just keeping
in mind secrets, and her presence exudes an air of danger.
The expression he had on his
She wears a vintage leather jacket, its studs and patches suggesting a wild past that belies her apparent agelessness. Nearby, a group of young people gathered around a makeshift bonfire.
Would he have been able to
shadow on their faces?
Determine
they seem
from
oblivious
the
to the world around them, lost in
what
music
kind
that echoes from the
emotion his face may have been.
One of them catches your eyes, an androgynous figure with pale skin and vibrant blue hair that stands out against the muted surroundings. Their movements are rather graceful and fluid, hinting at an otherworldly presence. But at that point, the Bone Collector and D, as you venture deeper into the rather loud across an elderly man sitting on a weathered rocking chair outside his trailer. His gnarled hands cradle a worn photograph, his eyes lost in a distant Sounds like something's breaking. His appearance is a stark reminder of the passage of time.
D is just going to be in her head.
The story's etched into the wrinkles of his weather-beaten face. His melancholy
just in her head, she's going to be like,
as if he's seen the world change and evolve around him, and yet remains anchored in this forgotten corner of the city. This trailer park
could I tell what direction that was coming from?
A neighborhood of nothing but trails. From one of the side streets up into your left. Side streets, all with trailers in varying states of repair or disrepair, as it were.
Slowly and inconspicuously making her way.
We find once again that. Make me a dexterity plus stealth roll, please. And we're going to move to the Bone Collector. What are you doing, having heard that? Ottilie, D.
Observing anyone who may also
as the Bone Collector leaves you behind, or as you leave the Bone Collector behind at the entrance to the trailer park.
Look that way.
Interesting choice of words. One moment, let's find out, shall we? Going about this evening.
What was my roll again?
Dex and stealth.
So
The only
First thing I'm
person
gonna do
you
is
see moving
find
that
a
way
shadow where there
is
aren't
D. You do
a
see a
lot
couple
of
of other
like,
people
able
kind
to
of
see me, which should be
perk
pretty
up for a
easy.
moment. Here, yeah, it's actually fairly easy.
And
You hear
I
them
want to
mutter
use
something.
feral
A
whispers.
couple of people around that fire, around that trash can fire, or the barrel fire rather. And a moment later, they go
Try
right back
and
to what they were
find
doing.
something like a cat that knows this area.
Okay, good.
The old
And
man,
it's not-
however, looks off in that direction. Sorry, you were saying? You want to find a cat?
I was saying,
Yes.
well, okay, good. They think it's something.
That'll be charisma plus
Looking at
animalism.
the old
If
man
you are
now.
attempting to be nice, if you're attempting to be a little forceful, that's going to be manipulation.
He's
Staring
and
off into
animalism,
the
your
darkness in
choice.
the direction the sound has come from. But he's not moving at the moment. While we're getting that out of the way, D, what are you doing? As Ottilie tries to be one with the shadows.
So
One sec,
when
Ottilie, we're coming back to you. Just bear with me.
Sorry, just
As long
the
as he ain't
little
making a
gif
move,
in the chat.
alright.
But
You're good. Ottilie.
when
The door
Ottilie
swings
goes
open,
off on her
taking
own to
part of the
do
door
her
frame
thing,
with it.
Dee's just gonna kind of walk through the neighborhood a
I'm
little
going
while, but
in.
she's gonna take note of
You
the
step
elder
foot-
I'm going
dude
in.
with the photo
Stealthily as
that's sitting on his
possible, but
porch.
still
But
going
how
in.
old did he
Dexterity
look?
plus stealth, please. He looks like he's seen. And yes, I'm going to make you work for this. I don't know if you had to guess, somewhere between
Okay, but I
65 or
already have
75.
problems of death. Can't I just repop that?
Still getting there.
Actually,
Getting
hold on
there,
a second.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you were to say to
I
be
also
found having
have weight of the
croaked in
feather if I
morning,
need that,
it would have
but
been
that doesn't seem
expected.
necessary right now. Could have used it on the door.
You'll have to test that theory.
So he doesn't look like.
That being said,
you mean to say
that being said,
that you had an
his
ability that you
age,
can use on
it's not
objects to
unheard
make it easier to move around,
Not-
and you
not
didn't use it
objects.
on the door?
not
Oh.
objects.
If I could
Guys,
have used it
guys.
on the door.
Not
I had
objects.
8, 6,
Just
and
her.
9, but all 3 are hunger dice. Yeah.
It mutes
If I
sounds.
could have used
That's
it
3
on
successes.
the door, I would have.
So have. It only works on people
Actually
within
found a
earshots.
cat.
Does not fool microphones or other electronics. Kind of orange fur, bright yellow eyes. They silence the
seems to be
footsteps,
wandering
clothing,
past.
minor collisions, and any other sounds of their person. However, if it's outside their personal space, it doesn't work. So, for instance, running into a trash can, yeah, that'll cover that. Breaking open a door, not so much.
Right. I mean, now that I'm in the house again, because I obviously lost it when I broke the door because I had it on before.
You know what? I'll count this as the same scene.
trailers
So
here.
we'll assume that you
Go
still
on,
have that up.
exactly.
Awake. Why?
Oh, then
they
yeah,
have
I don't need
treats?
to do stealth because I'm
You
already
don't.
quiet.
Yeah, you're not going to need to roll.
have
That's
food?
fine.
We can find you a treat.
You make your way in past the broken door. You find yourself in
I need
rather
a treat.
unkempt kitchen.
You need
Dishes
a
in the
treat.
sink. There's dishes on the counter.
See the
An
cat
ashtray
pause
on the. A couple
as it
ashtrays on
walks
the
across
table.
the grass.
Cigarettes having long
Stops
since
and
been
stares
extinguished.
at
The house is rather dark. You don't hear anything
Almost
at the
as if
moment,
considering.
but that doesn't mean there's not people here. You can hear a TV coming from your. It sounds like a TV coming from
You
your
just
right,
Lead me in the
and there's a
direction,
hallway
please.
to your left.
You get me a treat?
As you're trying to figure out what you're doing,
I'll
D.
take you.
So for my dex and stealth
With
roll,
that, the cat
my
turns
hunger
around,
dice was a 7,
literally tail
6,
fluffed
and 7,
upright,
and then my normal
takes
dice was a
off.
2.
down the way. You managed to sneak through unnoticed. You managed to make it to
Did I
the
just
trailer,
lose my
which
guide?
no.
Is
Well,
that
you
where
managed
the
to make
cat
it to a
said,
trailer.
"If you
You
get me a
think
treat,
the noises come
I'll take
from? I'm looking around for a moment.
That's not gonna help because I have to get into
The
the
door's
place to find
open.
a treat.
Part of the
Follow the
door
cat
frame's
literally-
on the door
A
still,
moment later, the cat
and
stops
Ottilie, for the
and
moment, is
looks
just
back at
standing
you.
there. Its yellow eyes piercing the darkness, just almost listening. Are you coming? God, your
Yes.
dogs
She's
are
going to
so
do a
whipped.
very soft whistle towards Ottilie.
Yes, I'm following Kitty.
You follow the kitty. Excellent. Here, puppy. The kitty leads you.
Yeah, first of all,
down one of
Ottilie
the
can hear you
side
just
streets,
fine.
almost like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, but
And
I don't want
right
humans hearing us.
First trailer on the right.
She is hungry and
Looking at
trying to
this
find a
place.
sleeping person.
Kinda
So-
worn, weathered.
She's going to ignore you
been here a
because she
while.
wants to find
But it's
someone
not
asleep that she can
completely in
nom
a
nom.
state of disrepair.
Okay.
Absolutely. Oddly.
Seeing that
Still functional,
Ottilie
still
is
livable,
ignoring
and there
me,
doesn't
I'm
appear
just
to
going
be
to
any
look to
lights
see
on.
if there's anybody
The
else
siding
around.
colored beige, the roof colored black. There's a few windows along the side.
Is there anyone
steps
else
leading up to
around
the
or coming
door on
towards
the
this
side.
house?
As you walk up the driveway.
Okay. So I'm going to do Silence of Death.
Not that you can see.
Cool.
Ottilie.
Okay,
Instantly,
so
you
the first
make
thing I'm
no
going to
sound.
do is very, very
Your
obviously
footsteps
quietly
cease.
go towards the
Rustling of your
TV
clothing.
in hopes that somebody is sleeping at the
Cat
TV.
looks at you. Put a little emphasis on that, why don't you? That's cool.
I want you to hear me carefully
dogs have better
in
taste
case
sometimes.
of issues
Still works.
later.
You
Alright, so
turn to your right where you hear
I'm
the
going
TV
to
coming
check
from.
obviously the door first.
You move past the
See
door.
if it's unlocked.
Well, the door's anyways.
door's
First, you got to
locked.
close it. So you close the door. It just kind of swings back a couple of inches and stays there. You make your way into the living room.
Okay. Can I use?
Second.
Is that
Can I
the
use my
equivalent of
stealth
slamming a door
specialty
on
of
D's
break-in?
face? Just slowly shutting a broken door in her direction.
One moment. Move into the living room.
If it's on
There
the
is a
character
lazy boy
sheet,
in
I'd
there
like to
with
do it.
actually somebody.
Because I
one
also
passed
have
out
3
in
in
front of.
athletics.
Yeah, just give me a TV.
Yes,
TV's got some sort of late night broadcast going on. Something about
Yeah, I'm reading it
sex
really
toys
fast
or
right
some
now.
shit,
Like, come on, give me
infomercial.
something. And I'm like, it says break in and athletics.
and the lazy boy is fully reclined. And he is literally just sprawled out, and you can hear him
I
softly
have
snoring.
to be good for something. Yeah, I'm doing this. This is happening now.
You move over next to him.
Well, she's
They're there,
only
Ottilie.
4
They're
and a
there.
half feet tall.
One
Describe
second.
to me
She's
how
not
you're
going to be able to check the windows.
They're
Describe
there.
to me how you're attempting to break in. Your predator type,
Can-
I believe, is Sandman.
What are you
is it
doing?
not? This is going to determine how I call
yes,
your roll.
that's why all of this kerfuffle.
All right, so
She has
Moving to your predator
she has
type,
4 points in
Ottilie,
strength. What kind of door
you
is
are
it?
going
Does
to
it
give
have a
me
deadbolt,
dexterity
or
plus
does it lock on
stealth
the
roll.
doorknob?
It looks like it has a deadbolt.
Okay. That's going to be a little bit more difficult because what she's actually going to do is just pull the door. She has 4 points in strength, and she has 3 in athletics and 2 in stealth. She literally just wants to pull the door. If it was just the doorknob that had a lock, there is a way to get around those.
I have 1, 2, I have
Which
4
is to
out
break
of
the
5 are
doorknob,
successes,
but
and
yeah.
the non-hunger die is a 10.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're attempting to do this stealthily, yes?
So I only had 1 fail, and
Because
there's no
if she
ones
gets caught,
in
she
this
can run
one.
away and it looks like a kid did it because she's really
I count
small.
that as a critical success, I believe. So make me a strength and stealth break-in roll, please. It's way too easy for you. You sneak up next to the lazy boy. You hear him snoring. Describe the scene for me. How do you do this? Damn it! I want the club music back.
I'm just gonna be obviously quiet. I'm gonna tiptoe. Just so you know, this is about to turn into an adventure. And I'm gonna look at his
I failed
wrist,
all
and
but
whichever
1.
one is closest to an upright, and there is a 1 in there. I'm
Is
just
that
gonna
a hunger
chomp it.
dice?
The 1 is a hunger die.
gonna chomp
Yeah.
it.
Your
Because that entire roll is a
fangs
fail, which I believe
feel
makes
them
that a
extend.
bestial fail, does it
You
not?
feel your beast purring as you pick up the wrist. As you look him over and
I
pick up
get
the
to take
wrist.
Penelope
Bring
home
the
with
wrist
me tonight.
closer. You can smell.
Okay.
It
So?
smells delicious. Flick his wrist a couple of times. Just make sure
just hear
things
that
are flowing
voice
smoothly.
in the
And
back
give
of
me
your
1
head.
second.
Yeah, I need to make sure that he's not gonna immediately
Tired,
wake up the
hungry,
second
and I
I touch
want
him.
this.
Like that would be
Just-
bad.
Oh God,
A
what if
little
this
too
person's been
much
drinking beforehand?
strength, like a little too much effort.
Then
goes
we're
into
about to
that
have a
as you
lot
try
of
to
fun.
Open the
So,
door.
Ottilie,
And you try
making
to
sure
pull
that
on
this
it.
guy isn't going to wake up.
With that,
I'm going to
yeah,
give you
absolutely,
I'm going to give you a
100%.
choice here.
You make sure he's not going to wake up. However, I need you
I'll
to
give you a
roll
choice
me
to choose
a
either
D10,
saving
please, and tell me what
grace
number.
or win at a cost.
7.
All right, I'll do saving grace. What does that do?
You go to pull the door
You bite
open.
in.
A little
You
too
feel
much
the blood
force
pass
behind
over
that
your
pull.
tongue.
You look around.
Slide down your throat.
Door's not budging, and you can't figure out why
It
until
is
you realize
quite
the door actually pushes
delicious. Nectar. It tastes a bit bitter, though, almost as if almost
I
as
love
if
it.
it's like an
love it.
unsweetened chocolate, like an unsweetened dark chocolate. Very, very bitter.
So I'm gonna go in being nice and
However,
stealthy.
There,
It's not the
Marcy,
worst
there,
you've
there.
had.
Yeah, the door's still closed. You have to get through the door first. You just realize that the door
I'm going
pushes
to allow you
inwards
to
and
take
you're pulling it.
2 points
Then I push
off
it,
of your hunger track
obviously.
You're going to make me another strength and break and
as
roll.
you feed yourself.
Wait, I have to re-roll for it?
Yes.
Emotion is envious. He's feeling kind of jealous of somebody.
Don't
You're not quite
hate
sure
me.
who.
Okay. So, here's how this goes. You're tired of waiting. You're just done. Your beast is done, and it's urging you. And again, puts a little more force than it should have behind your attempting to open the door. You hear a loud crack split the night air. The door swings open, taking part of the door frame with it. We're going to cut back to the Bone Collector for a second. That's a success. Excellent. You move to the top of the roof. D, what are you doing?
So, she's just gonna walk around the neighborhood, for a little bit, still keeping in mind that elderly gentleman with the what looks to be a picture in his hand.
Yep.
When she saw that elderly gentleman, as she's like continuing to walk and just keeping him in mind, the expression he had on his face would. Hold on a second. Would Dee have been able to determine from the distance she was at what kind of emotion his face may have been conveying?
Yeah, longing. It's about that point that
Lonely.
both Bone Collector and Dee hear a rather loud crack split the night air. Sounds like something's breaking.
Dee is just going to be in her head. God damn it. Ottilie. Just in her head, she's going to be like, God damn it. Could I tell what direction that was coming from?
From one of the side streets up and to your left.
She's going to start, like, slowly and inconspicuously making her way towards that.
Make me a dexterity plus stealth roll, please. And we're going to move to the Bone Collector. What are you doing, having heard that?
I'm observing anyone who may also have heard it. I'm determining whether or not any others are starting to look that way.
Interesting choice of words. One moment, let's find out, shall we?
What was my roll again?
Dex and stealth.
Stealth.
The only person you see moving that way is D. You do see a couple of other people kind of perk up for a moment. You hear them mutter something. A couple of people around that fire, trash can fire, or the barrel fire rather, and a moment later they go right back to what they were doing.
Okay, good.
The old
And
man,
it's not-
however, looks off in that direction. Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying, well, okay, good. They think it's something else. Looking at the old man now.
He's staring off into the darkness in the direction the sound had come from, but he's not moving at the moment. One sec, Ottilie, we're coming back to you. Just bear with me.
As long as he ain't making a move,
Oddly, the door swings open, taking part of the door frame with it.
I'm going in.
You step
I'm
foot,
going in as stealthily as possible, but still going in.
dexterity plus stealth, please. And yes, I'm going to make you work for this.
Okay, but I already have silence of death. Can't I just repop that?
Actually, hold on a second.
Because I also have weight of the feather if I need that, but that doesn't seem necessary right now. Could have used it on the door.
1 second.
You mean to say that you had an ability that you can use on objects to make them easier to move around, and you didn't use it on the door?
Not
Oh.
objects.
If I could
Guys,
have used it
guys.
on the door.
Not objects. Just her.
Yeah.
It mutes
If I could
sounds.
have used it on the door, I would have.
So it only works on people within earshots, does not fool microphones or other electronics. They silence the footsteps, clothing, minor collisions, and any other sounds of their person. However, if it's outside their personal space, it doesn't work. So, for instance, running into a trash can, yeah, that'll cover that. Breaking open a door, not so much.
Right. I mean, now that I'm in the house
Sure.
again, because I obviously lost it when I broke the door because I had it on before.
You know what? I'll count this as the same scene, so we'll assume that you still have that up.
Oh, then yeah, I don't need to do stealth because I'm
You
already
don't.
quiet.
Yeah, you're not going to need to roll. That's fine. You make your way in, past the broken door. You find yourself in a rather unkempt kitchen. Dishes in the sink. There's dishes on the counter. There's a couple ashtrays on the table. Cigarettes having long since been extinguished. The house is rather dark. You don't hear anything at the moment, but that doesn't mean there's not people here. You can hear a TV coming from your... Well, it sounds like a TV coming from your right. And there's a hallway to your left. As you're trying to figure out what you're doing, D.
So for my dex and stealth roll, my hunger dice was a 7, 6, and 7, and then my normal dice was a 2.
You managed to sneak through unnoticed. You managed to make it to the trailer, which... Well, you managed to make it to a trailer you think the noises come from. I'm looking around for a moment. The door's open. Part of the door frame's on the door still, and Ottilie, for the moment, is just standing there. Just almost listening.
She's going to do a very soft whistle towards Ottilie.
Here, puppy.
Yeah, first of all, Ottilie can hear you just fine.
Yeah, but I don't want humans hearing us.
She is hungry and trying to find a sleeping person.
So,
So she's going to ignore you because she wants to find someone asleep that she can nom nom.
Okay.
That's-
Is there anyone else around or coming towards this house?
not that you can see.
Cool.
Ottilie.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is very, very obviously, quietly go towards the TV in hopes that somebody is sleeping at the TV.
Put a little emphasis on that, why don't you?
I want you to hear me carefully in case of issues later.
You turn to your right where you hear the TV coming from. You move past the door. Well, the door's in your way, so first you got to close it. So you close the door. It just kind of swings back a couple inches and stays there. You make your way into the living room. 1 second.
Is that the equivalent of slamming a door on Dee's face? Just slowly shutting a broken door in her direction.
Move into the living room. And there is a lazy boy in there with actually somebody passed out in front of the TV. TV's got some sort of late night broadcast going on. Something about sex toys or some shit, infomercial. And the lazy boy is fully reclined. And he is literally just sprawled out, and you can hear him softly snoring.
Yeah, I'm doing this. This is happening now.
You move over next to him. 1 second. Your predator type, I believe, is Sandman, is it not?
Yes, that's why all of this kerfuffle.
Moving to your predator type, Ottilie. You are going to give me a dexterity plus stealth roll.
Finally. Okay. I have I have 4 out of 5 are successes, and the non-hunger die is a 10. So I only had 1 fail, and there's no 1s in this one.
I count that as a critical success, I believe. It's way too easy for you. You sneak up next to the lazy boy. You hear him snoring. Describe the scene for me. How do you do this?
I'm just gonna be obviously quiet. I'm gonna tiptoe to the living room, and I'm gonna look at his wrist, and whichever one is closest to an upright, I'm just gonna chomp in. Just chomp in.
Your fangs. Feel them extend. You can feel your beast purring as you pick up the wrist. As you look him over and pick up the wrist. Bring the wrist closer. You could smell. It smells delicious. Flick his wrist a couple of times. Just make sure things are flowing smoothly, and give me 1 second.
Yeah, I need to make sure that he's not gonna immediately like wake up the second I touch him. Like that would be bad.
Oh god, what if this person's been drinking beforehand?
Then we're about to have a lot of fun.
So, Ottilie, making sure that this guy isn't going to wake up. With that, yeah, absolutely, 100%. You make sure he's not going to wake up. However, I need you to roll me a d10, please, and tell me what number.
7.
You bite in. You feel the blood pass over your tongue, slide down your throat. It is quite delicious nectar. It tastes a bit bitter, though, almost as if it's like an unsweetened chocolate, like an unsweetened dark chocolate, very, very bitter. However, it's not the worst you've had. I'm going to allow you to take 2 points off of your hunger track as you feed yourself. Emotion is envious. He's feeling kind of jealous of somebody. You're not quite sure who. His resonance is choleric, and his temperament is acute. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna say I still need to see if there's a snack for the cat that led me here.
Yep, give me 1 sec.
I'm gonna be nice to Kitty because Kitty is nice to me.
Until your next Hunger 5, your next feeding, or your next sleep, you have 2 extra dice rolls for celerity and 2 extra dice rolls for potence. 2 extra dice to roll, so make note of that.
Okay.
And you're going to have something else coming your way, but don't quite know what that is just yet. We'll figure that out in a moment.
I'm watching them at the moment.
Okay. D, you've literally just watched this door close in your face.
Well, to be fair, I didn't exactly go up to the actual house. I was still a pretty good distance, but I would have gotten close enough for at least Ottilie to hear me softly whistle at her.
Yes, and then she closes the door. Stays in the house.
Which is fine. I'm accepting this. I will accept that. And then after making sure that there was no one else coming to the house, and I'm basically just gonna like wait for her to come back out before I do mine, because like I don't think it's a good idea for either of us to be fully alone at the moment. I don't know where Bones is right now.
Fair. Ottilie. What was your hunger at?
I was at a 3. Now I'm at a 1.
Okay. I'm going to get you to make me a willpower roll to pull yourself away. You take all of your willpower dice.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Your difficulty. It's going to be set at a 2.
Okay, wait. Which one's my willpower?
Should be right under your health.
Oh. Oh, so I have to roll 4. Got it.
You roll 4. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make that a 1 because you are almost fully sated. So I'm actually going to reduce your difficulty by 1, which means you only need 1 success.
Okay.
4 dice, that gives you a 1 in 4 chance.
Thank goodness. Because 2 of them were successes.
So you would have made the 2 success in any case. You managed to pull yourself away, not a problem. You just hear him and just kind of turn on his side in the chair, away from you.
Okay. I'm gonna pull away. I'm gonna go to the kitchen and see if there's just some kind of a snack anywhere that's just easily grabbable. So I can have something to give to the cat, because the cat did help.
Let's find out.
Roll for kitty.
Roll for kitty. There's actually... I can't believe your luck. Things are going way too smoothly tonight. For the most part. A can of tuna on the counter.
Thank goodness.
It's unopened, though.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take it outside, so I just get out of here, and let me see. I've got to have something that will help me here. Okay, this is gonna sound hilarious. Will feral weapons help me open the can of tuna?
Let's take a look.
Did she get out of the house at this point?
Yeah, she's at a. You watch her walk out.
I just want to pop gloves.
You watch her walk out of the house, and she's carrying a can of tuna.
Ottilie. Hold on.
1 sec, I'm looking things up.
While you do that, I have my own cat to take care of real quick.
I don't have that one cataloged. Okay, I need to go look for it.
He was going after the wire for my mouse.
Are you looking for what it's under?
I'm looking for the ability so I can give it a quick glance.
Oh, it's under Protean.
Thank you. 1 second.
Ottilie, what are you doing?
I promised the cat some nom for helping me find nom.
Do I see
I
the
get
can of
nom,
tuna?
cat gets nom. It's not open though, so we have to.
Is it one of those cans that actually has the tab on it to open it?
Nope. Just give me 1 second.
Come on, you gotta let me have this. Let me use my super deadly claw weapon on a can of tuna. This is what BGM is all about. Using
Yes.
vampire abilities for
Yes.
tuna for the cat.
But before you can use it, I have to familiarize myself with it.
No, I get it. I'm just having fun. Let me be over dramatic, okay?
It's gonna make you.
Anything
It's gonna
to
make
grab
a.
a can opener?
You're gonna need a rouse check.
Okay. 9.
That is a success. So, Feral Weapons. Tell us about it.
I'm just gonna pop the danger claw and I'm gonna use it to open the tuna.
So you look at you're watching Ottilie trying to beckon her out, trying to beckon. 1 second.
Whoever it is, get off of Blaze's stove.
Not on the stove. It's Whisper. He's putting things in the sink. But you're looking at Ottilie, trying to beckon her over. A moment later, you just see her nails grow several inches, like a couple of inches, into rather sharp-looking talons.
That's
How are you doing this, Ottilie?
I'm gonna put my claw in, and then I'm just gonna go all the way around and pull it off.
Alright then.
I'm going to the way we used to open cans with knives, but it's a talon. And when it gets open enough, I'm just gonna rip the lid off.
Make me a strength roll for that.
On a can of tuna!
I mean,
Oh,
she could
yeah.
put her claw right through the tuna. She could not press hard enough and like not go through the tuna at all. There's options here. I have to know which way to go.
That's fair.
6, 10, 4, and 7.
Yeah, no, you managed to judge your strength just right. You actually managed to slide your talon into the tuna, your claw into the tuna, and you start a little sawing motion. And before long, the lid actually just pops off.
Okay. I'm just gonna call over kitty.
He's already brushing around your ankles. Yes, Bone Collector.
Okay.
Is it in water or oil?
You're not close enough.
I'm just curious for her benefit.
The lid
I
pops
mean,
off.
there is no holy oil of tuna for me to be bothered with, but if there is holy oil of tuna, I would really like to encounter it.
The cat's brushing between your legs, looking up at you, and
I am gonna give the cat the tuna, for sure. The cat gets all the tuna.
he starts scarfing it down. You got to use your claws on a can of tuna. You happy? As you hear D calling you from not too far away.
Okay, now I'm gonna go to D.
Well, I take it you were successful. Or were you not?
I can't hear you when you actually whisper.
Were you successful?
Oh yeah, I chomped the flipperb out of that guy.
Alright then. And the cat? Are we adopting another cat?
That's up to the cat.
Okay.
The cat is
No.
still eating the tuna.
But I'm pretty sure unless you already did something, we still need to finish something.
Yeah, kinda. You made a really loud noise getting in, and so I didn't want anybody snooping around this place.
That happens when dogs break doors down. Yeah.
Depends on the size of dog.
Well, okay, so if Bone Collector shows up and like takes us out, then we know we messed up. If he doesn't, then we're okay.
Still,
I'm looking at this simply. It was Nom Nom, I Nom Nom. Now Cat Nom Nom, you need to Nom Nom. You've already almost broken the masquerade at the prince's place, so maybe don't judge my broken door, Nom Nom.
Bone Collector.
you have a point.
You see Ottilie walk out. You see her extend her claws. Saw open a can of tuna, put it down for a cat, which is now happily eating out of the can, by the way, all of it. And these two are just standing there in the middle of the road having a chat.
I'm watching this. Am I in earshot of them?
Absolutely.
Looks back over at the people on the other side. Are they still there?
They are. They're still listening to music. The
What
old man
about
seems the old man seems to be going back, and he seems to have gone back and is now looking at his picture again.
Okay, he's looking at his picture, huh?
Yep.
Is there anyone else in the vicinity?
Not that
There
you can
was
see.
that one person when we first came in.
The blue-haired person or the lady?
The lady.
The raven-haired person. She's with the people at the.
No, the redhead.
Hold on.
There was one that gave the impression of a lady of the night. Then there was the group, and then there was the old man.
Yeah, the raven-haired one. She's with the people around the fire now.
Okay.
Give me a sec, I have an idea.
While we're figuring that out, we're going to go back to Ottilie and Dee, who are having a rather pleasant conversation as if nothing has happened at all.
So let's go find you some Num Num. Wait, first I need to know, do you have any specifications on your Num Num?
They have to be consenting.
Oh, well, I mean, that's, yeah. It's a lot nicer than mine. Next time I say we find a hospital. Mine's a lot easier in there. And yours, you can just go to the ward where, they would like it. But yeah.
Maybe the internet cafe.
Okay, you can go to the internet cafe. I don't think I'm going to find anyone asleep in there.
You never know. Someone might have fallen asleep at a computer.
Bone
You could
Collector.
have missed out on a workaholic.
Okay, so I move over to where they can't see, where anyone can see me. I jump down off of the roof onto the ground where no one can hear me or see
Yep.
me. I move and I drop all things that would hide me.
Mhm.
I'm walking over to the group now by the fire.
Are you attempting to be stealthy at all?
Nope. I'm walking over to them where they can see me plain as, well, the light can show.
At first, they don't notice you. You walk up to the fire. One by one, their heads turn and they look at you. What do you look like?
I look like a normal dude without any of this and without my fangs. I look like a human. I have long brunette hair, I have glasses on, I'm wearing kind of for the attire of the night.
A couple of them nod to you, and a couple more, push to the side. They seem to be sitting on some sort of like concrete, some overturned concrete pillar or something like that. A couple of them push to the side and actually make room for you. Sup?
Popping on. Popping on them.
Okay.
Well, hello. I couldn't help but notice this fire here. It's very beautiful. And I'm a little bit lost, actually.
Make your roll. One
Be right
moment.
back.
Yep. Why do you want holy oil in tuna?
To go with my communion wafers.
God damn it, Ottilie.
They're nice to dip them in.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing you're adorable. You know that, right?
It's okay. Me and Brianna are over here talking about how close I came to breaking the masquerade. Like, I was like, I'm gonna get another character sheet ready.
6 successes. Excellent. They're yours. They're all kind of staring at you. Lost? You're not familiar with here?
No, not familiar at all. See, I came with 2 compatriots, 2 ladies, very easy on the eyes. See, I've been looking for them for a little while, and I can't seem to find them right now. So I figured I'd stay here and wait for them to show up.
You're welcome around our fire. I mean, these areas can get kind of sketchy at night, a little bit. At least this area can. So,
Oh man, you're telling me. I do have a question though. My name is Dan. What's all your names?
I think about it for a moment, and then one by one, pointing. Evelyn, Alex, Harold, Lena, Jackson, Grace, Oscar, Nina, Samuel, and Eleanor.
Oh, that's very nice. What were you guys talking about before I showed up? I apologize. I'm just kind of interested in wanting to make conversation.
No worries. We're just talking. You know, it's been kind of a rough day. We tend to come out and blow off steam, trade stories around the fire. Sometimes we jam to music. Sometimes we just sit here and choke.
Any of you guys smoke?
Depends on what you're talking about.
What you got?
You looking for tobacco or other?
I'm usually a partaker of tobacco, but I've been known to do others, depending on the crowd.
Takes a long moment with a few of them looking at you, looking you up and down. And then a moment later, you find a joint being placed in your hand.
Oh, thank you kindly.
And a moment later, a lighter.
Ah, true friends.
Just don't pick the lighter.
I pass it back.
They'll take it.
So, Evelyn, where are you from originally?
The woman with raven hair and the rather sardonic smile that you saw earlier at the entrance. Kind of almost as if she's not sure what to make of you, almost as if she doesn't trust you. She kind of curious why you'd want to know.
Again, making light conversation.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. You know, I have a story about Winnipeg. And I proceed to tell an elaborate, very exciting story of how a person lost a dog and he found it again and essentially made couple good business investments.
Was the dog part of those business investments?
Indeed, there's a shelter.
Okay, I'm listening. She kind of turns towards you, her like entire body facing you. Like you've got her entire attention.
So what about you? What do you do for business?
I dance for a living, unfortunately.
Nothing unfortunate about that. We all have to make a living, right?
Most people tend to look down on it. But, I mean, if that's your take, then yeah, I dance for a living.
An art is an art no matter how you look at it.
She's kind of... She looks like she's warming up to you a little bit. Out of character, yep.
I am so waiting for them to just come out now. He's still holding conversation for the time being.
We're going to cut back to the other two.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm just gonna like, if Ottie's sticking with me, we're just gonna like walk around a little bit the neighborhood, like not being basically like not draw attention to ourselves, but I'm basically just giving it a little bit of time before I try to approach the elderly gentleman.
Oh yeah. Let's try to not look like I just totally did a B&E. Yeah, that's an assault. Let's just walk casually away from a B&E and an assault.
No, we're basically going to do the long lap around the complex.
So you
make it look like
you
we're
do
coming
your
from
long
a completely different direction.
You do your long lap around the complex. You know, you're good. You do your long lap around the complex and you eventually make your way back, probably about half an hour later. As you're walking up towards the older man, you look over across the way and you see the bone collector, or he looks somewhat like the bone collector anyways, sitting in front of the fire with a group of people, and he's just animatedly talking up this raven-haired girl that you saw, this raven-haired woman that you saw earlier.
As Dee and Ottilie are approaching, I'm gonna make Dee look as though she does seem like there's something on her mind. There's like she's troubled, or she's just like, just kind of has something on her mind and is making her upset. Trying to make it seem like she's been like, I don't know, dumped or something like that. I'm trying to utilize my, hold on. Basically come up as if using persuasion, the subcategory victim, and whatever, either composure and manipulation, to make it seem like Ottilie is the friend that's helping me try to get over the whole being dumped thing or something like that.
Because I was going to go composure plus performance. Composure plus persuasion in this case. The That actually wouldn't fit. We're going to go with composure plus performance.
I don't have anything in performance. Could I use subterfuge?
Subterfuge would work.
Okay. So, composure. There is 3. And my hunger is 3. So they're going to all be blue. And then subterfuge, I have a 1.
Actually, hold on a second before you roll. It's going to be manipulation plus subterfuge. Because you are trying to manipulate how he feels.
It's all hunger dice at this point.
Good luck!
Don't roll like I did.
What'd you get? I take it D's not having a good night.
The thing is, the last dice spun like a top for a couple seconds before I landed on a fucking 3, and then I got a 6 and a 4.
One success.
What is it, Bonesy?
One moment. That's interesting. D. You and Ottilie are walking down the street. You're trying to play it up that you're just been broken up with. You're trying to come across all heartbroken. You're trying to tweak some feelings, some heartstrings here. You're trying to act like Ottilie here is consoling you. You keep walking down the street, coming almost even with this older man. You okay, miss?
No.
What's wrong?
Stupid Jeremy.
Who's Jeremy?
Sorry, you wouldn't know Jeremy. He's just some asshole.
Broke your heart.
Yeah, you could say that.
Heartache can be
kicks
tough.
the ground. She kind of like kicks at a little like thing in the ground.
I've got a couple of seats up here on the deck if you want to come and join me. And a couple of cold beers in the cooler here.
Out of character thing. I unfortunately don't have Blush of Health as a thing.
Blush of Life?
Yeah.
Oh, Kindred can use Blush of Life.
Yeah, it's a normal thing you can do. You expend blood in order to do it, though.
You make a rouse check. You either succeed or fail, which determines that extra point of hunger. But every Kindred can use it.
Okay. I didn't know. When I used to play, Blush of Life was kind of like a special thing you had to get, or you had to spend
not anymore.
points for it. Oh, okay. I
Not
didn't
with
know that changed.
not with 5th edition. It's now a standard ability for all Kindred.
That is nice. All right, so rouse check for Blush of Health. Okay.
Blush of Life, absolutely. Roll it. You roll 1 dice.
Yep. Oh wait, I need a different dice. 7.
You do not take a point of hunger. Congratulations. And you can feel the
Fuck yeah.
breath return to your lungs. You can feel your heart starting to beat again. You can feel the blood coursing through you, and your skin warms up slightly as if giving you the appearance. Your skin, turns a slightly darker color than your normal pale, giving you the appearance of being alive.
Yeah, I guess I could go for a beer. Maybe
He nods,
if anything
motions
else,
to the chairs.
maybe numb the pain a little bit.
He nods, motions to the chairs, reaches over into his cooler beside him, pulls out 3 beer, pops the top off of 2 of them, and hands one to each of you.
Yeah, and then I make sure Ottilie gets one. Thanks again, Dee Dee.
He nods. Ottilie.
I called Ottilie,
Uh,
and then I turned to Ottilie, and thanks again, Dee Dee, for coming to get me. I'm calling her Dee Dee.
Yep. You've just been handed a beer.
And I'm gonna fake drink it by putting it to my lips without actually drinking, and just make it look like I occasionally sip on it.
Composure plus performance, please. So while we're
Dee
doing
just
that,
downs hers.
so tell me about this Jeremy.
Well, we met when we were both in school together.
High school sweethearts.
Yeah, well, like university, we both went down to California
Yep.
for schooling.
Oddly, what were your roles?
Is 7, 3, and 10. One's a hunger.
7, 3, and 10?
Yeah, the 7 was a hunger.
Close enough for me. You managed to pull off the pantomiming drinking just fine. So high school sweethearts.
Kind of also, well, more so university sweethearts. We both went to college in California.
Long way from there.
Yeah, I was there on a school program thing, scholarship, what have you. And then when we came back, we were writing to each other for a while, and then at some point he finally came up and was like, "Hey, I'm moving to Canada." And then after that, we tried making things work, but I don't know. It just, some people just don't always seem the way they start out to be.
It's a rough situation.
Yeah.
He takes a swig from his beer.
I'm just taking a larger swig of mine.
Yep.
You know, if he would have told me about his folks first. That's the first thing. His mom found my number somehow, called me. That was one heck of an awkward conversation.
Yeah. Love can do funny things to people. Been there a few times myself.
Similar to mine, or
Nah, but life tends not to have the same allure to it with certain things having been done.
I guess. What did you do with your situation? If you don't mind me asking. She takes another swig.
Went to my best friend's funeral.
Oh, that sucks. Like, like her face. She genuinely has pain on her face now. She feels bad for asking.
He shouldn't have tried to take her.
Ooh.
Anyways,
Sorry.
she ended up leaving me, and never saw her again.
That's really shitty. Why are people like that?
Couldn't tell you. It's just the way things are these days, I suppose. The world's not the same as it used to be. But that's enough of an old man blathering on about failed love. Well, how can I help you? What can I do for you?
She just kind of sits and just kind of stares out. And just, well, for starters, I just need a place to sit for a bit here with my friend Dee Dee.
Yeah,
this
that's done.
is Dee Dee, by the way. Yeah. I didn't get a name from you. I'm sorry. I'm Jay.
Call me Clarence.
Clarence. Good to meet you, Clarence. And it's Jay, not just the letter J.
To each their own. Everybody's got their story. So, from California, huh?
Yeah.
It looks for a moment like he's pondering something over in his mind. As if he's trying to make a decision. He takes a swig from his bottle of beer, brings his hand up, looks at the picture that's in it.
Do I see what the picture looks like?
Younger girl, brown hair, old and dated photo, probably from the 80s or early 90s. Might
No one
be
I would
7.
recognize. Okay. It's not anyone I would recognize? No. Okay, good.
Looks at the picture for a very long moment.
Is that her?
It is. Tell me, my dear. Would it be enough? A moment later, he slides the picture back into his pocket. Upends his beer and empties it. Puts the bottle down on the cooler. Stands up. Picks up a cane from beside him. And he looks at you. Leave it to an old man to regret love lost. Tell me, if you had a chance to make the same choices over again, would you do anything differently? The choices that led you to this point in your life, would you do anything differently?
I don't think I can really answer that without knowing what the alternatives would have been. Because I don't know if I would have been happier or worse off.
Why don't you follow me for a moment? And he moves towards the trailer door.
I look to Ottilie. Think
It's up to you. If you go in, I will follow.
she'll
It's
cautiously.
either that or I go find our friend and tell them where you are.
Either or is fine, just as long as you don't leave me alone for too long if you do that. And she cautiously follows him.
Puts his hand on the door handle, pulls it open, opens the inner door, walks into the trailer, turns left, heads down a fairly decently long hallway. For a trailer anyways, and into a bedroom. Looks back at you. If you're uncomfortable, you can stay there. I'll be out in a minute.
Okay.
You hear some shuffling in the bedroom for a moment. A few minutes later, he comes out with... It's not an envelope. It's more of it almost looks like a fabric pencil case. Zipper on top.
Did he just hand it to me?
He takes him a moment to get there. He does move kind of slow. He's got a cane. He doesn't move all that well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to need this anymore, but something tells me that you make good use of it.
Is he handing me the pouch?
He is.
I have the pouch in my hand and I
I've been waiting.
unzip the zipper of it.
Been waiting a long time for this. I have a favor to ask you. Use what's in there to make something of yourself. Change your fate. Use it to make good choices.
When I opened
With
the
that-
bag,
He just smiles. Dear, I know there's no Jeremy. I'm going to ask you something very, very personal.
she braces herself.
I want you to drain me. Completely. I said I've seen a lot of things in this life. Eventually one puts two and two together.
She looks at the bag that's in her hand and having opened the zipper on it, what's in the bag?
Money. A lot of money. A lot of money.
She quickly zips up the bag. Don't you have anybody that would? Don't you have?
I've lived life long enough. I've made
But don't you have
a
other
lot of
kin that
mistakes.
this would? But don't
No,
you have
it's
other
just
kin that
me.
this needs to go to?
Just me. Eventually, I will die anyways, and I don't know what'll happen to it, but that is basically the product of my life savings. Money that I put away for a rainy day that I never got around to using. You do this favor for me. The money's yours.
You didn't
Do
think
me a
to,
favor
like,
and grant an old hunter's wish.
wait, when he says the term hunter, does
He
he
smiles.
mean... Oh, shit.
Remember how I told you I had to put my best friend in the ground?
You
He's the
told me you went
reason
to your best
why.
friend's funeral. You told me you had to go to your best friend's funeral.
Yeah, I buried him. Well, what was left of him anyways. He
I'm
killed
so
her.
sorry.
Well, yeah, he killed her. She left.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Made a lot of mistakes in this life, but putting me at death's doors. Small price. It's a small thing to ask compared to what I've done in my life.
One would argue that you were doing what you had to.
Either way, that's neither here nor there. Tell me, kindred, vampire, bloodsucker, do we have a deal?
Yes, do it. Go, pull. Nom, nom, nom.
Does any of your neighbors know that you're about to pass on?
Sorry, say that again?
Do any of your neighbors come by to check on you on a regular basis?
Every once in a while. They won't be by for at least another few days. By the time they come by, I'll have decayed enough that they won't be able to tell.
Nom, nom.
I'm trying to have an emotional scene here, damn it!
Ottilie already nom, nom. She's just helping you nom, nom.
I get that. Let me have this scene. I'm working on it. She's a consensualist. And she still has all of, like, she may have a stain on it, but she still has all of her humanity. I'll make sure that they don't find any marks, so that way both of our secrets can keep hidden.
That would be much appreciated, and I would expect nothing less. Cover your tracks, no? We've both lived parts of our lives in secrecy. You more so than most. Oh, and thank you. And with that, he turns around, walks back to the bedroom.
And I follow him. And when he's, like, getting himself situated for whatever, you want to know what's funny?
What's that?
You're my first kill.
I can think of no greater use for it. than to put an old man out of his misery. How long have you been?
Officially, roughly 5 years, but I've only been actually experiencing it for a few months now.
And you
There's some
haven't
bullshit
killed
going
yet?
on. No. Honestly, I think there's some bullshit going on.
There usually is. Your kind love drama.
I've noticed. And I used to be a legal assistant. That's actually how I got in this mess.
Fascinating. He walks through the bedroom, puts his cane to the side. The cane is a decorative wolf head on it. Looks like it's fairly polished and well loved oak wood going down the staff with an not an ivory, but an ivory colored wolf head on it. He lays down on the bed and he tilts his neck for you. The cane's yours too. It was custom made. Never go anywhere without it. You never know what kind of scrapes you're going to get into. Twist the head for me.
She gets the cane and she goes to twist the cane. Does it burn me because it's silver?
It's not silver. But the head twists, and a moment later, you hear metal on metal as the head detaches from the bottom of the cane, and you see a rather sharp-looking blade inside.
Oh, it's a cane sword. I used to have one of these when I was human.
It's yours. I'm not going to need it. Yeah. Shall we get this done?
Yeah. And she'll like screw back on the head and whatnot. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
He tilts his neck. He tilts his head to the side, baring his neck. Just like, don't worry. Just follow your instincts. Once my heart stops, you let go.
She nods to
Otherwise,
him.
bad things happen.
So I've been told. And she'll go into it. And as she is wrapping her arms around him in a way that is needed to properly hold him while feeding, she does it in a way as if she were hugging her granddad, if she ever had one, and going into where the vein is on his neck.
Your fangs slide into his flesh, and he just kind of grunts for a moment, and a moment later, he stiffens and then relaxes. You can feel his blood coursing over your tongue, D. And then a couple of minutes later, he grows still. His body grows a little colder, and you can hear his heart weakening. Thump, 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 thump.
And she's crying during this.
Thank you. And he falls still. His heart stops.
She stops when the heart stops and gently lays him into his bed, does her acid thing to clear up the evidence.
You can also lick the wounds closed. Just a heads up. You don't have to use your acid.
Whatever works. Whatever works. If I can avoid risking acidifying his head off.
And he's laying there. If you didn't know any better, you'd just say he was asleep.
And I'm gonna like relocate where he put that picture of his wife and put it in his hand and make it look like he.
It's in his back pocket. You find it not a problem.
I'm gonna make it look like he fell asleep holding her picture.
Yep.
She's just gonna like cry for a moment silently, and then like do her little version of whatever last rites she could think of.
And that's when your attention is brought back for a moment to the fabric in your hand.
Oh God. God, why can't you just use this one like a vacation somewhere? I need to put that to good use. Real good use. Fuck. And she's gonna grab the king. Make sure there's nothing else that would lead to evidence. She's also gonna make sure that there wasn't anything recording in there either. Like, I don't know
Smart
if he was
move.
going to be a creep. Yeah, like, she doesn't, like, I don't know if there's, like, any cameras or anything like that, if he was going to be a creep about it and film the whole thing to have it live streamed, but I'm just going to fucking check to make sure there weren't any cameras.
I'll give you this for that, because that was an excellent scene. There are no recordings in this house at all. There's nothing recording. You make your way back out to Ottilie. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She just says under her breath, why the fuck didn't you have any cameras either?
He doesn't respond, he's dead.
You were a hunter. You were a hunter. God damn it.
He doesn't respond, he's dead.
Still. She's still going to ask as if asking out into the void.
You make your way back out to Ottilie. You and Ottilie go find the bone collector, and you eventually find yourself standing outside of the trailer park. All three of you. I'm going to allow you to take 2 points of hunger off of your hunger track. As the bone collector kind of looks over you two for a moment.
Hi.
Did you feed?
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. I've already fed. You don't have to worry about me. What about you, Ottilie? I saw the mess up with the door.
She also fed a cat.
Sorry, you guys, I'm falling asleep. I really thought we were ending a long time ago. I'm sorry.
You said 10 p.m. my time, right?
Yeah, I also messaged you and told you that I was already starting to need to end because I'm tired. Like, yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
It's all good. We're in the end. Just letting you know.
Yeah, we are wrapping. This is like the end wrap up here, so just I appreciate your patience. Next time, feel free to stop me and let me know.
I got up and walked away and started getting ready for bed.
Okay.
Like, I've got all my stuff ready already. I turned on my AC. Like, I turned on all the fans and everything.
D. Bone Collector and Ottilie, you make your way back to the hotel room. Another couple of nights have been added. You don't know by who, but they've been added to your hotel room. It's just a name left. Alice. Upon investigating that fabric sack that you were given, the old man wasn't kidding when he said it was his life savings. You can add the cane sword to your inventory D. Let me know when you've got that done.
Because I have one other thing you can add.
I know he gave me his name. What was it again?
See something. I can't remember right off. It was a name I pulled out of.
Clarence. His
Clarence,
name
thank
was
you.
Clarence.
Clarence, thank you.
Just a name I happened to pull out of the air at the time. So you got the cane
Okay.
sword added.
Yep.
To your inventory, you can also add $200,000. And that's where we're going to end session for tonight as you guys make your way back to bed.